Ah, it's working. Shoe rack 3. Shoe rack 3, part 3. This is Woodsy's Woodshop. I'm Woodsy, welcome. So, get it sorted out here. Lots of stuff all over the place. Just need to tidy up a bit. So just finishing off really. Just finishing off. So I'm going to be using the plane to neaten this up. It's all right at the moment actually. I say I'm going to be using the plane. It's quite high up, isn't it? So maybe I'm not going to be using the plane. I wanted to really make this smooth, but I'm not sure I can. I might just have to leave it. It's a bit rough there, a bit rough there. It's a bit rough on this side as well. Really what I want to do is plane these surfaces here. I can't do it on the bench obviously because I can't plane this way up. So I have to put it on the floor, but then if you put it on the floor it's really wobbly. And I can't disassemble it and do it because the whole point is to get these bits flush. What can I do? What about if I really tidy up this floor here and perhaps butt it up against the bench? Would that work maybe? What if I put down some protective stuff as well? Put down some bits of my cardboard here. See, I had some cardboard over there and they've been hanging around for ages and I binned it over the weekend. Finally thought, finally get rid of that. And of course now I'm thinking, I can really do with that. Typical, huh? So perhaps what I'll do is that works, yes. So I can go get these bits. Yes. Nice. But I'm thinking I might need to just sharpen this up a little bit. So I'll switch it over to time lapse for blade sharpening and then I'll maybe do that live. Not live, but normal. Okay, so let's switch to time lapse now for the blade sharpening here. I'm just going to move that over slightly. Because I had a little dig at these knotty end pieces, and when you do an end grain like that, you've really got to have a sharp plane. So let's get the bits and bobs out. Actually, didn't I say I do a little plane sharpening thing? There are millions of sharpening videos on the old internet, and that's great. They're really great, and that's where I've learned how to do it. And no caveat. No, they're just really great. Here's my little thing. Now, because my blade's really sharp, I've got two whetstones that I bought off Amazon, and they go from 400 on that side. That's 400. That's really not. That's really quite coarse. To 1,000, to 3,000, to 8,000. Now that's so sharp already that really I only need to do 3,000 then 8,000. That's to get it really, really, really sharp. Okay. And then this is my strop, which is a bit of old leather belt that I doubled up and glued onto this board. I put that there, so then I can just stick that in there, holds it still, and you put a bit of the old, forgotten what this is called, sort of polished stuff I suppose. So let's get this out. Take off that bit. It's not frog, that's the, I can't remember what that's called. That's the frog, that bit there. There's the blade, and that's the, I can't remember whatever it's called. Anyway, you can undo this with this, but I've seen these actually broken off where people have been doing that. These shouldn't be too tight anyway, so undo that. Take off the back backing plate. That's not what it's called. I can't remember. Anyway, it just comes off like that. You see there's a bit there for it to come off. And then it's just a case of sharpening this blade up, you see. But to do that, you put it in this thing, and it tells you, I don't know what you call it, a blade holder. Plain iron projection, chisel protection. So you've got plain iron projection, 38 millimeters is 30 degrees, and 50 millimeters is 25 degrees. So what I did is I marked it up on here, so that when I put this in here, like it's here, I can just put that on, get it as straight as I can, nip it up, and then tighten it up. I used to just do this finger tight, but what you find is that, see the marks on there? Yeah, I should do it finger tight because it's got a grip there, so you can finger tight, and then it would come undone. So no good. You've also got to be a bit careful that, especially with the softer one, the 8000, you don't wear a groove with the wheel. So you've got to be gentle on the wheel, most of the weight on the end. And don't push too hard until you really get going. Because these stones have been sat in water, the brown is the rust of the bits of, you know, the bits of steel that have come off in the past. Now at the moment, I can see that I'm only grinding on the edges. I'm not sure why that is, you see, so can you see that all right? I think you can, can't you? So I'm hoping that it's going to go full blade. I'm just increasing the pressure slightly now I've got going. Yeah, that grinding zone is widening now. Yeah, we're grinding right across the whole blade now. Now, that's pretty good, that's looking good. Now I'm going to switch it round. So I want to wear these blocks evenly if I can. And they say, that's really smooth. Yeah, that's looking good. They say that you should be able to feel a burr on the back where you've folded the steel up. And I can, just a very slight one. So I have this little cloth here which I like to get the worst of the gunk off. So I can feel there's a slight raised edge there, so now I'll turn it over. Make sure you get it down flat, just very gently to begin with. Just go backwards and forwards a few times just to get that burr off. Hey look, I'm sure people will say, no, you're doing it wrong, Woodsy. But that's okay. That feels sharp, so flip it over. See if I can get it even sharper. These are good because they came with this little block and these rubbery bits to hold it steady. Works for me. And these are wet stones, not oil stones or anything like that. Again, I'm starting off very light. There seems to be bits of grit on here which just sort of pushing off with the blade. And I also, this is the softest stone because it's the highest grit. It's very soft. So as you can see, it's only really grinding in the middle now. It's interesting. So just keep going. Hardly any pressure on the wheel. All the pressure's on the front of the blade, and even then it's not very much. That noise is the wheel. If I lift it up. I'm being called. I'm being called for my dinner. Okay. I'll leave that there. Just dry that. I'll leave that there. My daughter's cooked dinner. Ooh. So I'll come back to this. Hang on. Is that working? Right, okay, so here we go then. I've had my dinner, it's very nice. It was only a fry up. All day breakfast. Anyway, let's see where we're at. that feels quite sharp. Okay, I'm just going to take the burr off. That will do. And then I'm going to strop it 30 times. Seems like a good number. Let's put that back. Put the lid on. To strop it, I am going to take it out of here. Can you see? I'm going to take it out of here and then just get it the right side and just 1, 3. I'm trying to keep it level. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. So there's along that edge is a good shine. I think I dinged that because I've got an edge there. Oh, that's very sharp. I think I went off my strop and hit the metal here and dinged my blade. But I'm doing some quite... I can see it. Yeah. I'm going to let that slide. I normally wouldn't let that ding slide. I had to re-grind that out. I can see a little blemish on the edge of the blade there. When you're doing these blades, they have to be absolutely perfect. Otherwise, when you're planing, it will leave a score. I'm chopping the ends off these things, which is quite a rough and ready job. So I'm going to let it slide and see and see what happens. It may be a disaster, in which case I'll have to come back and sharpen it up again. When you're putting this on, let's just clean it up. Go right up to the edge. People talk about leave this much of an inch. You just want to be just seeing. Chip breaker. Yes, that's what it's called. You want to be just seeing the edge of your blade, basically. Sticking out 0.5 millimeter, if that. Pop it back in. This goes on here. I like to try and get everything lined up as best I can. It all wants to shift about as you close it. So I take a little bit of care of that. And then this little doohickey here is what backs off your blade. I want to back off the blade a bit because I want to just feed the blade in as I'm planing. So take nothing to begin with. Oh, oily rag as well. This is all quite scratched up. I should probably shine that up a little bit, but never mind. You see it's a bit scratched. So yes, I'm going to try and clean that up. What I might do actually is move you so you can see. So let's try you over here. Oh yes, that's pretty good. All right, let's switch over to time lapse. good as I need to get it, I think. Let's just make sure we've got this the right way up. That's pretty good. Good enough. That's the back, that's the front. Okay. What do you think? Shall I oil it? Should I oil it? Probably should, huh? Well, it's not going outside anywhere. So maybe I don't need to. I'll just call that a day. Bare wood. Yeah. Let's call that a day and let's see what it looks like in position. Does it fit? I did have a nightmare. It wouldn't fit.
Does it fit?
Of course it fits. Does it hold shoes? My shoes go on the top. Oh. Actually, what goes on the top of the boots, isn't it? Shoes underneath, I guess. Boots on top. Lady boots. More boots on top. Sorry, boots, not going underneath. Skanky old trainers, some walking shoes, umbrella. Well, there we go. Job done. A shoe rack. That looks okay, doesn't it? Certainly very practical. Not the prettiest looking thing, but it's certainly very practical. Alright, now what I could do, make another one for that side, but I think I'll leave it for now. So thanks for watching, and any tips or tricks or things I should have done better, let me know, because I don't know really what I'm doing, I'm making it up. Okay, bye. Shoe rack postscript. This is all part of it, I guess, but the gaps are too big here, which means I could have just had these all joined up together, had it only come out about as far as here. Sorry, I'll say that again. Could have had all these joined up together. Wouldn't have had to have that button then. It would have fit in the gap nicer. Wouldn't have had the gaps. Perhaps wouldn't have needed these cross pieces, although probably would have still done one. One at each end. But it's a prototype, isn't it? It's version 1. I've never done it before. Yeah. What I did is I measured a shoe. I thought, well, it has to be as long as a shoe, but I've got big feet, so that's why we've got this problem. Hey, never mind. We'll do better on the next one. All right, cheers.